Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Tombstone Tourist. This week, I'm staying close to home and visiting Westview Cemetery here in Blacksburg, Virginia. Blacksburg is probably best known for being the home of the Virginia Tech Hokies. It's a relatively small college town that is also rich in history. Many of those responsible for that history are resting here in Westview Cemetery. Blacksburg was founded in the late 1790s when William Black, for whom the town is named, secured deeds to several parcels of land here on the western frontier on the west side of the Allegheny Mountains. He later deeded several sections of this land to his brother John and a few other family members. In spite of the dangers posed by the natural isolation of the area and the Native Americans who were opposed to the encroachment onto their land, the fertile farmland made it a popular destination, with families moving west across the mountains. As more and more settlers moved into the area, a ferry across the nearby New River was established. There soon followed a store, tavern, and inn, which further enticed other settlers to move to the area. With all the new settlers, there became a need for a cemetery. So, in 1832, William Black deeded a few acres of land on the outskirts of the settlement to be used as the community cemetery. That was the beginning of what we know today as Westview Cemetery. Some of Blacksburg's earliest settlers and most prominent citizens are resting here, including one of the town's founders and early trustee, John Black, who was William Black's brother. Westview is also the final resting place of a number of Civil War veterans, including Captain Thomas Nelson Conrad, who served in the cavalry under the command of General Jeb Stuart, and later served in the Confederate spy service that operated in Washington, D.C. Probably the most notable Civil War veteran resting here is Dr. Harvey Black, who was the son of Alexander Black and Elizabeth McDonald Black, and the grandson of one of the town's founders, John Black. Harvey Black was born here in Blacksburg on August 27, 1827. As a youth, he developed an interest in medicine. He studied medicine under two local doctors until about 1847, when he volunteered to serve with the 1st Virginia Volunteers during the Mexican War. He served a little over a year. In 1848, he began his formal medical studies at the University of Virginia and graduated in June of 1849. After completing his studies, he decided to return to Blacksburg, where he opened his medical practice. By this time, Blacksburg was a prosperous community and a good place to raise a family. In 1852, he married Mary Kent, and the couple had 4 children. In the years prior to the Civil War, Dr. Black had a very successful medical practice, and his family prospered. With the outbreak of the Civil War, Dr. Black applied his medical skills in service of the Confederacy. On August 2, 1861, Dr. Harvey Black was appointed regimental surgeon in the Stonewall Brigade of the 4th Virginia Regiment. Later that same year, he was appointed surgeon in the field hospital of the 2nd Corps, Army of Northern Virginia. On the evening of May 2, 1863, General Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson was wounded by his own sentries at Chancellorsville. General Jackson was taken to a field hospital near Ellwood Plantation, where Dr. Holmes McGuire amputated the general's left arm. During the operation, Dr. McGuire was assisted by Dr. Harvey Black. Dr. Black remained in medical service for the rest of the war. When the war finally ended, Dr. Black returned to Blacksburg and resumed his medical practice. In 1872, he was elected president of the Medical Society of Virginia and was instrumental in the founding of the Virginia Agricultural and Mechanical College in Blacksburg, which is today known as Virginia Tech. Dr. Black served as the first rector of the College Board of Visitors. In 1885, Dr. Black was elected to the Virginia House of Delegates, where he devoted considerable attention to the mental health issues of the citizens of Southwest Virginia. It was due to his influence that the state located a new hospital, Southwestern State, in Marion. In 1887, Dr. Harvey Black became the first superintendent of his new hospital. A year later, while attending to state business in Richmond, Dr. Black fell ill. He passed away a few days later on October 19th, 1888. He was 61 years old. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of the Tombstone Tourist. I hope you enjoyed my visit to Westview Cemetery here in Blacksburg, Virginia. If you did, please consider ringing that bell and subscribing. And if you're so inclined, thumbs up is always very much appreciated. Now, until next time, please remember, life is a wonderful journey. Be sure to take time and enjoy it. And I'll see you down the road. So long, everybody.